Now joining us, our fantasy football expert. His name is Casey Joyner, footballscientist.com. He also works for The Athletic. Tonight, he will be doing the Thursday Night Football blog for The Athletic, which I got to tell you, I hope that you get through this tonight, Casey, with this game, because I do not envy you having to sit through this one, my friend. Let's first start with a question that I have for owners out there, and I'll get to the text line and YouTube as well. But you got Josh Jacobs, you got Dameon Pierce, you've got Derrick Henry, KC, all on bye weeks. Any stealth running back options that you think people might be able to go out there and pick up late?
Yeah, it is a tough week for backs with that much talent gone. I'm suggesting to people that they look up options. I mean, you're going to have Brian Robinson's going to be a guy who's going to get a lot of carries tonight. He's going to be their lead back. He's not going to be an alternate back. He's already taken over as the top ball carrier. He's somebody looking there. You want to get Kenneth Walker in the lineups. You're going to look at guys like even a Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman last week served as the alternate back for San Francisco. It's not a great role, but you know what? He's got a fantastic matchup. I wouldn't be surprised to see him put up double-digit points.
Is it okay if I ask a personal question, Nick? That upset you last week. Should I just get that out of the way right now, or how should I handle this? I don't want to upset you again.
Unbelievable. Go ahead. Go ask your personal question, Rami.
MBS or Chris Olave? What's Chris Olave's status? I haven't seen a lot of updates on him for this week.
I think it's still up in the air. They're probably going to play Coy until Friday because when it comes to the injury reports, I mean, you see New England, what they're doing with the injury report. Wow, Damian Harris, he might play. It's like he's not going to play this week, or he's very, very unlikely to. It's sort of like I did with Mac Jones last week. So I would lean towards Olave because he was present at the portion of the immediate portion of practice open to media today. He's through a good portion of the concussion protocol. I would go with him if he's healthy, and if he's not, then go in the other direction.
916-339-1140 is the text line. Again, it's 916-339-1140 if you want to text your fantasy football questions to us. You can also give us a call at 1-800-920-1140. On top of that, we also have the YouTube channel where you can plop your questions in there, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Jumping to the text line, KC, needs one for the flex. London Drake, George Pickens, or Jerick McKinnon?
London Drake, George Pickens, or Jerick McKinnon. I'm probably going to go Pickens in that one because he's the one I mean, as much as I like London, I don't like that matchup at all. And Pickens, if nothing else, he's shown that he has a connection with Kenny Pickett, and nobody else on offense does, but they're going to have to be playing from behind because the Steelers are 8-1 underdogs in this game. I have a feeling they lose this game not as bad as last week, but pretty handily. And when they're behind, that's going to be a matchup to go to. So I'm going to go Pickens.
David on YouTube wants to know who's the daily fantasy defense of the week for Sunday's games.
I don't really look too heavily into daily fantasy, but I can tell you my top 10 defenses per my start sit charts available on my paid subscription service on my site. I got San Francisco, I got Tampa, Philadelphia, the Rams, Dallas, Baltimore, Buffalo, despite the tough matchup, Green Bay, Jacksonville, and the Patriots. Those are my top 10, so take a pick from those.
Casey Joyner is with us here, footballscientist.com, also works for The Athletic. Back to the text line, 916-339-1140. Is George Kittle worth keeping as the number one tight end on this owner's team, Casey?
Oh, I am with you. I got Kittle on one team and just keep hoping. He almost had that touchdown a couple of weeks ago, and then it got overturned on reviews, so he's not that far away. I'll tell you this, though. If you're looking at his matchups, I grade matchups on a red, yellow, green basis where green's a really favorable matchup. For the rest of the year, he has 7 favorable green matchups and only 2 red matchups. So, I mean, the schedule for going on from week 11 to the end of the year is going to be fantastic, and you've got a good matchup this week as well. So I think he's worth writing out for for what might happen in the next couple of weeks if you can do that until the end of the season. Because if you're in the stretch run headed towards the playoffs and you're seeing him post 15, 20 points for somebody else, you're going to kick yourself.
Question here from Joe. Can I trust Taysom Hill another week? How many fantasy points did Taysom Hill rack up last week? Because he did it in like every phase of the game.
He did. A lot of that depends on okay, I presume they mean that he's going to be available as a tight end in that league, because that's where he's available in a lot of leagues as a tight end. Some have him listed as a quarterback. So if he's listed as a tight end in your league, the thing is he shouldn't be listed as a tight end, because he had 9 rushes last week. He was the alternate back to Kamara. And, I mean, he scored 34.08 points in ESPN Fantasy League. So he's not going to do that well this week, but he is the alternate back. It is a very favorable rush defense matchup, so I'm definitely putting Hill in as my tight end, unless you've got Kelsey or somebody of that nature. You definitely get him in there.
KC Joyner with us, footballscientist.com, The Athletic as well. KC, back to the text line. Both running backs from the Browns. This owner needs another running back that he or she could trust. Who should he pick up? You gave some names earlier, but how about Eno Benjamin or Drake London?
Really like Benjamin a lot this week. I like the matchup a lot. In fact, I've got it was mentioned in my subscription service there. I do matchup points rankings in that subscription service. It's a 1 to 100 basis, with 100 being the most favorable. Benjamin, they've got 100 matchup points. The matchups don't get much better than that. And Connor's banged up, so I bet they're going to rotate him in there. So if you've got Benjamin as an option, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him put up RB2 or flex caliber points this week. You'll be okay with him in the lineup.
Sactown said, I dropped Russell Wilson. No question. He's just saying, I dropped Russell Wilson. Should people be dropping Russell Wilson, Casey?
Honestly, there's a case to be made, depending on your league format, to drop somebody like Russell Wilson. I covered it the game last week, the Thursday Night Football game. We were watching, covering that for the Athletics Live blog. I was doing statistical research during that, and the red zone numbers and the vertical pass numbers for Wilson, they're just atrocious. And you hear about him getting that shot in the shoulder, and his shoulder feels better. It's like, okay, I think there's a problem there where his shoulder might be banged up. So, yeah, in a lot of leagues, you can drop him. I'd also say the same thing for Matthew Stafford. He's still rostered in a ton of leagues. He's my lowest-rated quarterback on my start-sit charts this week. He's terrible. That offense is awful, and you need to be looking for a better quarterback than those two.
Quick one here, Casey. 2 more quick ones before we go. Got about 30 seconds. Russell Wilson or Cooper Rush?
Still going to go Wilson.
And this owner has Jared Goff on a bye, needs other quarterback options. Cooper Rush, Kenny Pickett, or Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones, because of the rushing ability. He's got a really good matchup, too, 73 matchup points. And, again, he can get you 30 or 40 yards on the ground.
KC, you're the man. KC Joyner, footballscientist.com, works at The Athletic as well. If you are sitting through that miserable game tonight, give KC some company.
Take it easy on my Bears, all right?
KC, thanks, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, guys.